Today we start in the dark that you can see this light show here. Look at that illuminated Mercedes star. This is here an outlook for the all-new Mercedes V-Class. Yeah, this is really a cascading indicator or a hazard light. Illuminated front grille, and it looks already pretty luxurious, very exclusive. And in this review, which we will soon light up here also in my face, then we tell you all about this new vision for Mercedes, what they imagine the future of luxury in the van segment looks like. And now not only the star is illuminated, but also the rest here of the studio. They can really see the actual car or van, or is it a car or is it a van? Mercedes also thinks about like a, super large sedan or new definition of a sedan or something between sedan and van. You also see soon more deals about this luxurious interior. Yeah, I mean, the illuminated star really works. We have to see if it will be also the same in the final version. Let's see about that. But looking forward to your first initial feedback. How do you like this front? Taking from sporty Mercedes vehicles, you can see here these power dome accentuations on the design. It's carried over through the windshield. That is a very interesting aspect for sure. And even here on the top of the roof, you already see this is a solar roof, and it can generate a couple of kilowatt hours per day. Not too much, but I mean, if it stands in the sun outside all day, that might deliver something at least. The length here is about 5 meters 50 or 216 inches. This will be a long wheelbase version. There will also be a short wheelbase version. And why are they doing this new architecture? Well, the Sofa V-Class is already kind of old on this base platform, and the new architecture will be foremost electric, but not only all electric. It will also house combustion engines, so both will be possible. That's also the new scheme like we recently shown to you in the Mercedes CLA. Both, same platform, different powertrains. But of course, there's somewhat an electric focus that you can get more range out of it, bigger batteries, because the Sofa electric V-Class is not really like long-haul proof, so to speak. Wheels here, in this case here, 24-inch. This is of course really large. So we can expect larger wheels for the new V-Class. Maybe not exactly this size, but also with this illumination here, so that looks really stunning. And you can see here, this is what I said between, like, they want to make it less van-ish alike from the look. They really stretch it design-wise. These are also design schemes that are used, for example, on Mercedes coupes and so on. So not only van-focused, but of course, at some point, you still see the boxy dimensions. Here, by the way, this is here like a monitor. Here at the moment it says Welcome Vision V. And you can display different stuff there. You can have an animation. This could also be used for maybe like an airport shuttle. You can display the name of the passenger there, or maybe like a luxury hotel could have the luxury hotel logo on this display. The rear is also really peculiar. It depends on the market if this would be allowed to go all the way through in this ring. It won't be allowed everywhere, so maybe you will see an iteration of that, but it's definitely super interesting to see that here. Almost looks like a spaceship, doesn't it? And when you hit the turning indicators or hazard lights, it can be even more spectacular. Look at that. I think it's a very interesting idea for sure. These are really, by the way, you can feel it. It's like three-dimensional. Of course, maybe in a final series production vehicle, it will probably be then covered with some form of glass. It will also feature an 800-volt charging infrastructure, like we've recently seen with the Mercedes CLA. So fast charging then is also being ensured. There are no battery sizes yet and so on, but as I said, there will also be combustion engines. So if you don't want to rely on charging, but definitely this will deliver more range and more, better EV facts, so to speak. And you can see this in this case, because it's not too high, also has better aerodynamics than a Sofa V-Class. That's of course also something they're working on at this moment. So let's now check out the interior, and here, sliding door, of course, as you know it. And it's especially a big trend on the Chinese automotive market. There have been like some recent vans being launched focusing on rear entertainment and so on. And they also tried to find new approaches to that. And yeah, there you can see this entry help. This is of course really massive in this case. This is, by the way, a projector. We'll soon take a look at that. It also gives us some ambient lighting and kind of, makes it even more spectacular on the interior. And here, at this moment, you would say, what's that? This is actually a screen. Look at that. 65-inch, and it's hidden underneath. You can see it here. And it can actually fold up because it is somewhat flexible with these different elements you can see there. And it's like the fireplace mode at this moment. Soon we'll show you more about the screen. First of all, about the seats. Individual seats. So this is more like a first class airline experience. And then they also have this folding flat function. You can see also that the design is somewhat different. They try to use, like bend it around, the material goes in like one seamless way. Now this middle console goes a little bit lower, and then you can sleep or enjoy the fireplace mode. But this is just one function actually, because the screen can go up even higher. And then you can see the full 65-inch potential. And this is an actual screen, so this could be somewhat real. We have to see about it later. It's also interesting when you look at it from behind here. Here, these individual elements. There you can see that they can also bend when they're hidden. And then this part here puts it actually upright. And now you have the full scale for movies or also for gaming, of course. So whatever you want to do while being stuck in traffic. This is all pretty cool here now with the northern lights. And we already did some shots for you when there's dimmed light. Then you can see how these projectors here actually, make everything wider. It doesn't work with all 16:9 sources, so a normal movie might not fit into that, depending on how it's being produced, but it really depends on the format, what you can do with it, actually. And the sound system has 42 speakers, so you also have the Dolby Atmos sound there, that of course fits to this whole experience. And you might think, like, who would use it and when would you actually use it? So as I said, especially on the Chinese market, you're getting stuck in traffic for a couple of hours, for example, or you maybe put a meeting inside the vehicle, or maybe a private or personal meeting. That will also be possible. So this is where this trend is actually coming from, and Mercedes also wants to roll it out to more markets, saying like, hey, it doesn't need to be a luxury sedan always. It can also be this large, super large sedan, if they would call it that way, or just make the van like an experience. By the way, have you seen these like the small figures there? They are glass figures for a chess match, and you can, for example, fold out a table there and have a chess match in this vehicle. That would also be possible, actually. Now I get inside. Here on the step, I have actually laminated my shoes now with a special laminating machine that I don't make anything dirty. And there's also a cover now on the seats, because it's it's a very bright animal skin material. Unfortunately, no alternative materials here yet for this concept, but there are of course a lot of great animal-free materials out there right now. So I expect Mercedes also to use them here in the van segment in future, hopefully. And here you can see there's one with 89, 6 2. I still have enough headroom, although it doesn't look too high from the exterior. By the way, if you hear some fan sound, there are cooling machines actually for the projectors of this, special ambient lighting thing. It's interesting because this new seat form, where you have like this one materials swing, so to speak, it's not too bad actually, because it's it's giving a little bit way when you sit on it. That's very interesting. And maybe should I try the sleeping position one more time? What do you think? Yeah, Leah is also nodding. So let's see how that works. Chess figures. That was surprising. Also already slides back. And I mean, it's a totally different room feeling here, definitely. I could imagine that the series version would also be a little bit higher. We've recently seen the Lexus LM, for example. That would be a competitor of this one, for example. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, it is of course more relaxing, more spacious than in a luxury sedan in a way. There's always the question of how it is while driving, and one technology thing that is already confirmed is the rear axle steering, so it will be more maneuverable also when you have like a commercial use and so on. But I wonder what technology they will come up with, going against the motion sickness, because I always have a problem in these vehicles, like when they're stationary or maybe like slow traffic going straight, it's all fine. But as soon as you start driving a little bit quicker, I tend to get motion sickness, and that doesn't happen in normal luxury sedans. So I'm looking forward to see if they have any technologies they come up with against this motion sickness in the future. I think what we should now see is, here, can maybe just give me the camera. It's really cool effect here. Ooh. And now we can check it out. How does it look like when the screen is going up from my perspective here? So you can see this glass between the drivers and the passengers. It can also be shut down, electrochrome, so to speak. So you can have your privacy in comparing, like not seeing the driver anymore, so to speak, depending if you like your chauffeur or not. And then here, that looks really amazing, right? How the screen goes up from this perspective, it's crazy. And then also the projectors and so on, you know, also to this left and right area. Wow. Yeah, and then you can start gaming or yeah, these ambient lighting things, or also then watch a real movie. And the sound system, we cannot give you a real sample for it because it's, you know, like the music rights and so on. But I can tell you that the sound system also really sounds amazing. Yeah, and for all chess world champions, all your dreams are coming true, because all the other passengers in the vehicle, yeah, can be put checkmate, right? So I think it's a very interesting idea. I'm not sure how they hold up when you're driving. Maybe they would need to be magnetic for that. That maybe might be then the coming with the facelift of this one. And also a quick look at the front cockpit here, the driver's area. It's interesting. Have you seen the sunglasses there inside of the doors? It's like an exhibition here, so to speak. And recently also presented with the new Mercedes CLA, this new super screen layout, which is all on the same level basically. One panel, one layout. 3 different screens, different, you know, digital instruments, then the main infotainment and also the passenger screen. And this will also be illuminated in the final version with these turbine air vents, for example. So what we see here in the cockpit is, on the one hand, series production, so to speak, but then again the seats are more in the concept style. Here also with this luggage design and so on. So it's a mix of the, you know, what is real and what is probably not that real, so to speak. I think the idea is interesting to have these transparent elements here, because sometimes this can also maybe give you a glimpse into like technology, but also storage. So why not? I think that's maybe an idea we could also carry to final vehicles. Here, once again, you can see more of this exhibition, also with the sound system here, the speakers, open close button here, and also the ambient lighting integration. This is also something that we see in, you know, already existing Mercedes vehicles. Also interesting here, hello everyone, this here electrochrome function of the side window as well. So at the moment you can see me, and if you change it again, then yeah, I'm gone basically. Or can you see me both? I'm not sure how it looks like from this perspective, but now I can see you, at least, but I can see you, or the camera, or Leah behind the camera. That's interesting. There you can have even more privacy, you know, depending on what you like. So now looking forward for your feedback. What do you think about this new luxury experience? Would you prefer this one or a classic luxury sedan, like, you know, typical Mercedes S-Class would be the thing, of course. I mean, the advantage here is, of course, that you have more space and can just do so much more stuff, especially entertainment-wise. Downside could be the experience while driving. That's what I also said, that usually in the low-sitting vehicles, you rather have a better driving experience than as a passenger in the rear. And we recently also already tested a Mercedes V-Class in the existing generation with the executive package. You can check it out right now. Or a main competitor would be the Lexus LM.